Hey guys, Pedro here to do a concert review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the concert of alien weaponry in the great city of Toronto. Finally, the boys from New Zealand stopped in Toronto during this North American tour that they're on, opening for Carpenter Brut and Ministry, and there was no chance in hell that I was going to miss a chance to see these guys live. Huge fan of the band. I really love their sound. I love their energy, and I just couldn't wait to see them on stage. I couldn't wait to see them live. I couldn't wait to talk to them because I got a chance to hang out with them after their set backstage and ask them a few questions. An interview will be up on the channel tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in finding out a little bit more about alien weaponry, about their sound, what these guys are all about, their album, the tour, the shows, come back tomorrow and you'll be able to watch the interview that I did with them today. You don't want to miss it. You really don't want to miss it. One more thing I want to say before I get started is that normally when I go to a show, any show that I go to, I cover all the bands on the bill on that night. Tonight, due to some personal reasons, I wasn't able to stay longer and I wasn't able to see Carpenter Brut or Ministry. So tonight's review is going to be only on alien weaponry and on the set that they played during this Toronto show. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. I got to the venue, is at the Rebel in Toronto, downtown Toronto, a venue that I've been there so many times for other shows. And the moment you walk in and you see the alien weaponry words, like the logo behind the stage, it was so cool. It had this really cool presence, really cool fragrance to it, if you will. I was already excited. The moment I saw that on stage, I was excited. I was really hyped. I couldn't wait for 7:15 to come on so the guys could get on stage and start playing. I was really hyped. That got me excited immediately. So then as it got closer to 7:15, I must be honest, I was not playing any instrument whatsoever. I was just there to observe, to take pictures, to really take it all in. But I was nervous. I was like, for some reason, I felt a little nervous. I felt a little giddy, almost I was a fan, and I could feel it in my bones that I was really excited to see these guys for the first time, making history, if you will. This is the first time that they play in Toronto, and I want to be able to say going forward that I was there on the night that they played in Toronto for the first time, because I have no doubt that these guys, going forward, they're going to be one of those iconic bands that we're going to look back on and say, where were you when you saw them for the first time? I have no doubt that these guys are going to follow the footsteps of other thrash metal giants like Slayer, Testament, Metallica, Anthrax, all of those. I have no doubts in my mind that beyond Sky, the stratosphere is the limit for these guys. They have so much talent. They're so good. And I think that is what got me excited. That's what got me nervous. Because to me, this was a key moment. A moment that 10 years, 20 years from now, I'm going to be able to tell my grandchildren that, hey, you guys are listening to alien weaponry. That's cool. I saw them in Toronto when they played in Toronto for the first time ever. How cool is going to be the moment where I get to say that to my grandkids? It's not every day you get a chance to say that. So I was really excited about that because I really feel like these guys are going places. So I was able to get into the pit. Beyond the pit where the security guards are, into that area in between the audience and the stage, because the guys were cool enough to hook me up with media credentials. So I was able to be in that area there to take some pictures, up and close pictures. I highly recommend you guys checking our Facebook page or Instagram for some cool shots and some cool videos that we did of alien weaponry during their Toronto performance. Now, these guys came on stage and it was like, what it felt to me was like this. It was like somebody grabbed a Coca-Cola bottle, they shaked it, and then they let the cap off. And then all the pressure just boiled over. It was just incredible. The amount of energy that these guys have on stage is impressive. I've seen countless bands live. The energy that these kids, these boys, I shouldn't say kids, these young men brought today with their performance here in Toronto was incredible. I've seen so many live bands over the years, countless bands I've seen live, and it's not every day that you get blown away by the energy on stage that the band has. The charisma, the presence, the stage presence that they had, but more important, the energy, the raw energy, that youthful energy, that devil-may-care attitude that just boils over to the audience. It really is contagious. It gets everybody going. It gets the audience hyped. It gets everybody into a frenzy, if you will. It's like a shark feeding frenzy. The moment they come on stage and they just unleashed all that built up energy that they had leading up to that moment. It was palpable. You could feel it in the air, the energy that these guys have. Incredible performance. Song after song after song, just tons of energy, and to be able to soak it all in, to be so close and to be able to soak all in was incredible. But at one point in time, I left that area. I wanted to go more into the back of the venue to kind of get a more of a panoramic perspective on the show, to really understand how they work the stage from a much wider angle, from a much wider perspective. And that was a treat as well, because I got a chance to see them up and close, and then I got a chance to see them a little bit further back. So it really gave me an overall presence of how they act on stage and how they interact with each other and the audience. You know, a lot of the people were there perhaps not to see Alien Weaponry, perhaps to see Carpenter Brut or Ministry. Let's face it, they were the opening band, and that's fine. So the energy increased with every single song that went by. If the audience was not there for Alien Weaponry, at the end of their set, they were fans of Alien Weaponry. And that was visible in the merch stand. Once they finished their set, they came to the merch stand to take pictures and sign autographs. And I saw a lot of people taking that chance to meet the band, to take some pictures, get some autographs, buy some merch. And so to me, it was visible that a lot of people, while perhaps not fans of the band going in, they definitely left the show fans of the band because of the energy that they brought on stage, the quality of their musicianship, how good they were, how infectious the songs are. Man, these guys have such a cool, old school thrash metal sound. It's unbelievable. It was hard for me to describe how good their sound was. For as good as they are in the studio, for as good as the record is, and the record is incredible, their sound live is even better. Talk about a band that has the knob on 10 and takes it all the way to 11 once they come on stage. With the music, with the energy, with everything. It's just so hyped. I honestly wish their set had gone on for another half an hour, 45 minutes. I am dying to see these guys again. I really hope they come back next year, or at the worst case scenario, the year after. And I hope they build enough following that in a future visit to Toronto or a future visit to North America on a tour, they're not the opening band, but rather one of the headliners, or at least one of the middle card bands that has a much longer set, longer than half an hour. I would have loved to see them for 45 to an hour. Obviously they have one record, so their repertoire is limited, but they were so much fun to watch. They were so much fun to be around. It's almost like it was almost like Christmas. You just don't want it to be over, and you start to feel depressed the moment it gets to the last song, and you feel like you've opened all your presents and Christmas is over. Now you have to wait a year before you have that joy again. That's almost how I felt at the end of their set. I felt that I was happy to have seen them live, but at the same time, I had this feeling of emptiness that now I don't know when is going to be the next time I get to see them. When is going to be the next time that I get to feel that energy again? Because they were incredible, full of energy, full of youthfulness, just incredible musicians as well. It's not easy to be three guys on stage and create that kind of a sound. You see a lot, you don't see a lot of bands that are able to pull it off. You know, you normally have an extra guitar player because it's really hard to transport the sound from the studio into a live setting with only one guitar player. But they were able to do it. They're so good at what they do, and they do it almost effortlessly, which gives the audience an even bigger sense of being overwhelmed by their presence, by their sound, and by their spirit. Great band live. I'm going to put, by the way, all their tour dates for this North American tour in the description of this video below. You guys do yourselves a favor. If this tour is coming through town, and regardless of how much of a fan you are of the other two bands, if you are a fan of Alien Weaponry, or if you're a thrash metal fan and you love thrash metal, you really don't want to miss a chance to see these guys live. It's worth the admission. It's worth buying a ticket just to go see them, even if you don't like the other two bands, or even if you're not a huge fan of the other two bands. They alone are worth the price of admission. Great show, great band. Cannot wait to see them again. These guys are going to be touring non-stop. They have been touring non-stop since the album came out, and they're going to continue to be touring. So even if you're not in North America, keep your eyes open, because they're announcing festivals after festival in Europe. So they're going to be playing all over the place during 2019. So you'll be able to see them at some point in time next year. That's 100% guaranteed. And if you have a chance to go see them, don't miss it. Go see it. You really don't want to miss this show. It's just a treat to see these guys perform live. Their sound, their presence, like I said, their charisma is just contagious. You will love it. All right, this is it for me tonight. Come back tomorrow. Check the interview that I did with Alien Weaponry. Will be up tomorrow on the channel, so you want to come back tomorrow and check that out. All right, take care, guys. See ya.